Hello guys, my name is Raygan Mafo, and today I'm here with the founding partner of Build, Julian Owusu. Julian, what's up?
How you doing, bro?
This is the second time. I mean, when we did the first interview, bro, like the number of people that wanted you back was wild.
I'm waiting for you to pay me, bro.
It was wild, like,
You need to pay me for those views.
I mean, I agree. We'll talk about that later on.
Like,
Julian, today I want us to talk about Build. I mean, you guys are doing crazy things, amazing things. We spoke a little bit about it in the first interview and all that, but I want us to dive deep into what you guys are planning on doing, the mission, some of the products you're putting out there and all that. So what is Build?
So Build is a holding company. So we're a holding company that basically owns multiple businesses. All right, so think of it as the parent company that has multiple different businesses and products. But essentially we do two things. We, number one, build products for other people, for other customers, other companies. It can be their mobile apps, it can be their systems, anything for other companies. And we also, number two, build products for ourselves.
Okay.
The products that we build for ourselves, we go with a different approach. So traditionally, people used to build apps and then go and find the customers after.
Right.
What we do is we find a community. So for example, a community can be a church, and then we get them together and then we build a product for them.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So, because we believe that the community is the product, if that makes sense. So if you get people together and they tell you what they want and you go and build the technology for them, it's more accurate.
You built a product, but then that community together again becomes a product.
Absolutely. So I'll give you an example. Just last week, I posted on my story on Instagram that I'm looking for 100 people to come and test a new faith-based product that we've just built. They all joined the WhatsApp group, and then they started testing the product.
Okay.
Right? Whether before I probably would have gone and built the product and then put it out there live and said, hey guys,
Test it for, okay.
It's, and so yeah, that's the approach that we do. So that's the two things that we do. We build for other people and then we also build for ourselves. Yeah.
You use the word holding company. I think that's like the second time I'm hearing it, but what does it mean?
It's just basically like, I think entrepreneurship has changed. Before, and including myself, we started off with one company and we were a fintech company, and everything we did was that one product. But I always knew that we had capacity to do multiple things. And I think if you've got the right operation, you've got the right team, anybody can do multiple stuff. I don't think we need to be boxed into doing one thing. So the holding company basically allows us to do multiple things. Now, it's not easy because you have to have the right operation and the right people. But when you get it right, and we are just about getting it right, we haven't got it right perfect. But when you get it right, you can have one mother company that owns multiple things, and you're still running at the same type of speed as another company, which is just doing one thing. And that's what we've managed to do.
So if you have a holding company, or we have a company that's just doing one thing, does the team size matter? Because now I'm assuming the holding company will need more hands.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment, we've got one team that does multiple stuff. And we've just expanded to India. So the team in India is more on the development side of things. Whereas the team here is going to be a mixture of the creative and the development, if that makes sense. So we've got one big team working on multiple stuff.
And how are you managing timelines and them working on multiple things?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I guess for every product or business, it has its own timelines. And we work here in what we call sprints. So every 10 days, we work in a sprint. Right. So for 10 days, we'll work on X, Y, and Z. And then after the 10 days, we'll come back together, we plan again, and then we go again. So there's probably like 4 or 5 different sprints happening at the same time.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Anyways, what are some of the services Build offers?
Two things. So in terms of software development, we can build your mobile app, we can build your website, we can build your system. And we've done that multiple times. Fintech, e-commerce, any type of marketplace, we can do that quite simple. So yeah, so we'll write the code, we'll build the development. And then on the flip side, we've got creative services. So we design, we do branding, we do strategy, we've got video editing, we've got a studio up here. So it's like a full scale.
So I'm not even just
tech
focusing on the
business.
tech part, but then even the creative part, being like the video.
I think the creative side of things is very, very important, right? Because even if you just look at like most companies don't have the right brand, let alone the right website,
True.
let alone the right technology to make their
it,
business run more efficiently for them to make more money. And so like it's all hand in hand, you know. And I think, to be fair, in the day and age that we live in today, I think the creative side of things is a lot more important. You know, your brand speaks about your business, it speaks about what you do, and it gives people that feeling of what you do, if that makes sense. So the brand side of things is super important. So for us, when I think of tech, I don't think of just
The development.
No,
right.
I think it's everything holistically together.
You mentioned something when we started the conversation about community, that, I mean, most companies build a product and then go and find a community. But then now you put the community together and build a product for them. How are you putting that community together? How are you building a community?
There's an art to bringing people together. And I've always said that, like, even in this office, like, we can call people on our Instagram and 100 people will come here for an event, right? And I think it goes back to brand. Like, if people believe in your mission, people believe in what you do, they'll come. They'll show up. So for people to leave their house, even just to come and visit you, it's long, it's hard. You know, transport, all of that stuff. So I think when you have the power to bring people together and you all share the same mission, it becomes easier, if that makes sense. So for us, it's identifying these communities. So for example, like I said, the first one that we did last week was a faith-based community. It's a Christian community.
Okay.
It's just really like, I'm a Christian myself, so it was quite simple to get people together. But I think other Christians probably follow me. So when I put the call out that I'm looking for 100 people, there was 76 people within a few hours, right? So yeah, that's the beginning of it. But when they're there, it's about keeping them engaged. It's about having a strategy of what you're trying to get from them in terms of feedback. You need to have a plan of understanding them. And as you're gathering all of this information, really what you're doing is building the product, you know, before you've even written a line of code, if that makes sense.
But how are you keeping them engaged?
Yeah, we have a community manager.
Okay.
We have multiple community managers, actually. Khadijah's not here. But their job is to keep people engaged, find little strategies of understanding them, and gathering data, data.
Because I think when we did a field crash, Sheldon said something which is so true. It's one thing to have a community online, it's another thing to call people together.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I've seen some of the events you'll be having, you call the people and then they come. That's one. Secondly, you can have a community online, but then the people are not even responding to, because joining is easy, right? But then I'm putting something there to get their engagement is like the part that is difficult.
I think if you're trying so hard to be something, it's not organic and it's not natural. But I think if you're just yourself and you just realize that I'm Raygan and I'm different, there's a lot of people out there in this world, not Ghana, in the whole world, who are probably like you or believe in the things that you believe. And so if you call them together, your job is to find them, right?
Right.
And if you find them and you bring them together, it's easy actually. They'll come wherever you are, they'll turn up and they'll be engaged and they'll turn up. So like for me on my personal brand, not even build, it's about self-development, it's about fitness, and it's about bringing your vision together. So the people who follow me, I don't have a massive following, but the people who do follow me are very engaged, like very, very engaged.
Yeah, I think it's better that way because you have, let's say, 100 followers and just 2 people responded.
Absolutely.
But if you have 50 and 30 responding, that's
50, 30. I posted a video of a boy fighting a dog.
Yeah.
And I asked people to vote who won. I had 4,000 people vote. Yeah, literally, a dog and a boy.
4,000.
4,000 people voted in the poll. I was even shocked myself. It was a little boy
I think I saw
punching a dog. I asked who won. 4,000 people voted.
That's a community.
Yeah, literally. That's a community, yeah.
Wow. At the beginning, I mean, still talking about the holding company, you said people are building product for companies or customers and then building for yourself. And when it comes to building product for yourself, how do you validate that, okay, this idea makes sense? Because, okay, we put the community together. This is what I want to build. But maybe It's not, how do you validate?
We don't know, and I've been saying this forever. Like, is nobody knows anything, right? We don't know if things are going to work. In fact, every idea is not going to work, and if you have that mindset of this idea is not going to work, you start to put together processes to try and make it work, if that makes sense. And so for us, it's okay, cool. For example, the pasta product that I just mentioned, I have no idea that's going to work. I'm just bringing the people together. We've built it, we put it out there, we'll test it fast. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, fantastic. I'll take their feedback, we'll make the changes. And if more people like what we're building, then more people will join. If we don't take the feedback on board, then it's not going to work, you know? But I don't go into this as, oh my gosh, this is going to work. This is going to be $1 million idea. No, it's like, we need to build a culture that allows us to test things constantly.
Okay.
And that's how it works.
So if I'm understanding, you believe in execute, test, and then see how it performs, instead of just sitting and kind of overthinking how it's going to perform.
The time you're using to overthink, I would have created a WhatsApp group.
Right.
I would have created the name. I would have put it out there. I would have spoken to 100 people while you're thinking.
Right.
I would have started.
So then you have enough data to make whatever. So when it comes to feedback, because I mean, definitely there are going to be feedback from the people. If they are giving you feedback that's not in alignment with what you're trying to achieve, how do you go about that? And also, when the feedback comes in, how are you using that to shape the product you're building?
Again, if it's whatever product that you have, it is A and B. What are we trying to do? We're trying to achieve this and we're trying to solve this for the customer. Other than that, it's a blank canvas. Okay. So whatever they tell us is what we are going to build, if that makes sense. I don't have a idea in my mind of how it should be.
Yeah.
No, it's just, this is what we're trying to solve.
Yeah.
So whatever they tell us, that's what we do.
So you just have like a blank canvas, then just take the information from there to shape the final.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. When I came here, we'll come back to your services again and maybe like the subscription, the pricing. But when I came here, I spoke to one of your guys and he was like, they want to take BTS and all that. And I think in the first episode we did, I was talking about content, how you are documenting. Why? Why do you want to document everything?
I think, do you know what? I think running a business in general is hard, right? It's so hard. And like, I have expectations of we're going to make it. But in seasons like this, where we haven't made it and we're figuring it out, I think it's important for people to see. Because when I was starting this business, there was nothing for me to look at, like zero. There's still nothing for me to look at. And so from day one, we were shooting on phones, on Androids, and then it went to iOS, and then it went to cameras. And now we've got the team actually here 24/7 shooting, right? So I just thought it was very important for us to document everything and then put it out there. You know, nobody can say that we didn't put the work in. Nobody say that we are not working here. No one can say that, oh, these guys are a scam. Like, we're working every day, and this is the proof.
If I take maybe like something like the design part, development, I know it will bring a returns to the company, right? Yeah. But does the content bit, like documenting your journey, that bring you any return? Does it help in any way?
I think like financially, no, but I want it to. And I think I was even just mentioning it yesterday. We had a little meeting yesterday and I was mentioning that we need to build a content engine that helps us with our distribution, with our products, helps people understand what we do, helps us get our messaging out there. So I think over the next few months, we're going to be investing a lot more into the people who create that content for us. And I think you just met one. I was just talking to, I was telling her my plans. So yeah, we're going to be investing a lot more into that so that it can potentially bring some sort of financial return, even if it's directly or indirectly. It should help with what we're doing here.
So you think of content like a long-term goal, not like just...
Oh, no. So it's a long... I think just in general, marketing and advertising has also changed. Whereas like before you'd have like a marketing manager internally. I don't know if that role is going to be still there in 5 years' time. I think you're going to have content strategists. I think you're going to have company creators. And I think those people are going to get the message out there a lot more. I think somebody planning on social media is probably going to have more power than somebody planning traditional stuff, if that makes sense. So I think the landscape is changing in general.
True. So as a client, I want to work with Build. Then I have one question. What makes the services you provide different from the other companies? Why shouldn't I go to company A, company B, but then come and work with Build? You mentioned you are opening a branch in India as well. What's making it different?
I think we're in Ghana, but we are not thinking just Ghana, if that makes sense. That's the first thing. And I think the second thing is you're dealing with people who have built multiple products, multiple businesses. And that experience alone is more valuable than going to a firm that haven't even done what you're doing. They don't even understand what you're going through, right? So you might come to me and say, oh, I need an app. I might look at your business and say, you don't need an app.
Okay.
There's no need of you wasting that money. You don't need an app. You need this.
Okay.
You know, and just based off our experience, that alone is valuable, you know? And so for us, it's not just, oh, let's build the app and take your money. This is about how can we transform your business, because we need the case study after. We need you to do well after, based off the work that we've done. So it's not just, okay, pay for the service. It's more, you're getting the experience, you're getting our strategy, and yes, you're getting the service as well. Yeah, so I think that's what makes us different.
Okay. I visited your website one time, and I think I saw some subscription plan over there, and I was a bit confused. I want you to touch on, if you're building a product for a company or a customer, what is like the pricing bit going to be? Because definitely it's going to be like a long term. It can be a year, maybe 2 years, maintenance and all that. What's like the pricing like? Is it like they pay you one time, or like they're paying monthly? What does it?
So we've gone with a subscription approach to all our pricing, and there's a reason for that. Like I said, we are entrepreneurs ourselves, and when I started the first ever business, I had the idea, but I didn't have the product, I didn't have the team, like I had nobody. It was me and Bennett, right? When we raised our first bit of money, the first chunk of money went to hiring people so that we can build the product and whatnot. But in actual fact, that cost us a lot more money. And so our pricing is structured in a way that you get your first product, you can get customers, you can make revenue before you've hired anybody. And once we've built it, you can pay us a small subscription fee for us to maintain it for you. But we are not expecting to be maintaining it for you forever. We are expecting you to go off and build your team.
Okay.
And the whole thing is very flexible. So after we've built the first version of your product, you can cancel it at any time. You don't have to pay us forever. And again, that has come from my experience, knowing that you can have $10,000 today running a business and it's gone tomorrow. Like, it's gone tomorrow, but you're expecting some money to come in like November.
Right.
So in the 3 months, I can't pay this company, but I'll be back. So you can pause it,
and then when
I'll be back in November.
True.
You know, so it's just, running a startup is so unpredictable that it just brings problems if you're signed into a contract
that
with
you
a company, you can't get out of it and you don't have the money. And I don't want to have the conversation of, oh, you don't have the money. You know, I'd rather just understand that, okay, cool. They're pausing their subscription for the next 2 months, 3 months. And however we can help you aside that, we will do that, if that makes sense. So it's a subscription fee. You can pause it at any time.
Cancel
it at any time. It's really up to you.
So at the beginning, you make a deposit. I'm trying to understand it in simple language.
Yeah.
Make a deposit. We get you the product, start making revenue to be able to hire people. Then you pay us for a subscription fee that we can maintain for you for like, and if you run out of funds, like we were saying, you can cancel. Interesting. Okay. Was there a reason for the subscription part apart from the canceling and the pausing?
I just think on our side, a subscription, I just like the model. I like the model of a subscription. I like the model of you're paying in bits every single month.
And so is that fee fixated for like every client that comes or it changes?
No, it's fixed. It's transparent. And I think that's another thing. It's like a lot of companies, you go there, you speak to them, and it's not clear how much it costs.
Yeah.
It's like people on Instagram saying like DM for pricing.
Yeah.
Meaning the price is different
It's
for
different
you
for me.
and it's different for somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's just transparent for us. This is the price. We will do it for you. This is how we start, and then we go.
But won't workload and all that, with maybe one client's workload be different from another and all that?
Absolutely. Good question. So there's different plans, right? So we've got 3 different plans. One of the plans allows you to have 3 or 4 updates a month.
Okay.
And the highest plan is unlimited, where we literally work for you. We work for you. We can update as many times as you want, and we work for you. So there's different plans. So you choose the plan that you want, and then we fit it into our workload, and it fits into our process.
That's smart. That's actually smart. So how with the updates on one of the plans, how are you tracking this? Because I mean, as a product designer, sometimes when you're working with clients, you do a contract and then you're like 3 free revisions, and if you want an extra revision, you pay. But then sometimes it's difficult being able to validate which is a revision, because it might make you make a change and you don't even know if it's part of the revisions or not. So how are you validating, or maybe saying, oh, okay, this is an update, so now you have 3 more updates, you have 2 more updates and all that?
I mean, it's different for the development side of things, and it's different from the creative side of things. From the development side of things, it's clear when you're updating something because it's a bug, or what we call a change request, where you are changing it completely, right? So we know from internally, and the client knows that you're changing the whole thing,
right?
You know, versus you're updating something minor. And then internally, we size things up by how long it will take. Is this going to take 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours? Anything over 5 hours, 6 hours, that's a big change, you know? That makes sense. It's basically a day.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it.
Cool. Can we talk about some of the products? Maybe mention it and just tell us what product it is, what it does and all that. You were telling me some before the interview started, so can you tell us some of them?
I think the one that I'm interested in now, what is exciting me now, is we have a Christian AI-powered product which allows you to ask questions and seek support at any time, 24 hours a day. You ask your question and it speaks back to you in a voice. Any question at all. It can be faith-based, it can be life-based, it can be advice that you want. You can literally ask it anything.
What was the inspiration?
The inspiration, it's a long story, but but basically I will say this, the inspiration came from some of the biggest pastors in the country and around the world. They preach to us on Sundays, but it's hard to get a one-on-one conversation with them. And sometimes you need the one-on-one conversation. Sometimes you don't need a prophecy. You need a one-on-one conversation.
To ask your questions and...
That's it. I'm reading a scripture. I need to understand what this means. I don't need a prophecy today, you know? And so I just found that a lot of people needed conversations, but there really wasn't a way to do that. And so for us using technology, it was actually perfect for us to be able to build a platform like this that does it. So I hope it does well. It's out there. It's live. I'm sure you put it in the link below.
We'll put it. So you check the inspiration, then you build a community, put it out there for them to test, and then you ship it to.
Yep.
Interesting. What do you think about? I think we were talking about it at the beginning. Companies are building products and then not finding customers. For community-driven products, what do you think? Where do you think it's going? I don't think I've seen anybody that is doing something like that, because most people just get the idea and they just want to build and push it.
I think this is the future. I really think this is the future of entrepreneurship. And it's kind of common sense, but we just don't think about it like that. It's common sense. Find the people with the problem, speak to them, and then build the product that they want. But I think the power comes in the ability to bring them together. Not everybody can do that. So I think really it's becoming the person or becoming an organization that can bring people together and then speak to them. So I think that's where the power is. Whereas traditionally you would build and guess that I think people want this, and you go and spend hours building this product that you think people need. And then when you release it, they don't need it. Because you never spoke to them. They don't want it. It's not even their problem. They don't want it. Those days are over. And thousands of businesses are still going to do it. But I think the future is community.
Why do you think they're still doing it though?
Because
Is it working for them?
It works for some people.
Okay.
And you see case studies online of this company launched today and now they've got 1 million customers, and it's like, those are minorities. But for the majority of businesses, it doesn't work like that. And I think just in general, like, the world has changed. There are so many small niche communities online. Just on social media, you can find so many small communities, groups of people, and they need problems to be solved. I think gone are the days of, I build a product and there's 1 million people out there and I'm gonna get all of them on the platform. I think now things are gonna change of, there's now a community of dancers in Accra
Who are looking for this?
who are looking for something.
Yeah.
Let's build it for them. There's 3,000 of them. Let's build it for them. They pay every month. It solves their problem.
Money.
There's also another community of people in Kumasi or in Teshi who like Kenke. And they want
Julian and
the
Kinky.
They like Kenke. And they want the Kenke to be delivered to them on Wednesdays. They all share the same thing. Let's build it for them. I think that's where we're going with things, you know?
For the clients that you guys build products for, what's like the process for them? If they come in, so when the job is done?
They come in, they book a call with us, we understand their business, we understand what they need, and then we start building. Some people it's fast, other people it takes a couple of weeks, but we've spoken to people where, because they already know what we do, same day, next day we've started building. And it's more about transformation. It's more, okay, cool, my company is here and I need it to get here. I don't have a product, or I do have a product and I need it to be changed. Simple as that. Yeah.
You've opened a branch in India. When you told me, I was surprised. Like, I was like, wow, this is going global now. What are other plans you guys have for build? Let's.
The focus now is cleaning up our operations and just going more global, becoming more of a global business. Because up until now, we've been here. And yes, 90% of our clients have been in the UK or the US, but we actually want to become a global business. And so the India move is the first step for us to make that happen. And I'm very excited about that because we were already working with the company in India. We've been working with them for years. And so we came together and said, look, like, let's be one company. Let's merge and let's be build and let's get it out there and let's do more, you know? So that's how Build in India came along. It was another company, we merged together, and now the team in India there's 15 people in India. Office opens this month, and yeah, we're just going to be out there.
When you talk about marriage, something came to mind. So say if I had an idea and I came to build, and I wanted to, build that, and I didn't have the funds, is there something that can work?
I think so. Like, in terms of our model, yes, we've got the subscription, but yeah, we're very open, and we actually have something in place now with one company where we are profit sharing, but it has to make sense. Like, it has to make financial sense, because if a group of people are going to work on something, it has to have a high return for us to be able to share revenue, if that makes sense. So the company that we've done it with is in fintech. It works for us, it works for them. But yeah, I think you just have to think, before you come to us with that,
you just have to think
about it.
Yeah,
think about it.
I think a month ago, you guys had some roles opened and all that. They're still opened.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're still hiring.
Our creative agency, I think like 300 people applied. We're looking for 40 people, 40 video editors. I said we're looking for a creator for the company. But yeah, they're more creative roles. No development, but we were looking for some engineering roles. We're always looking for people, really.
We'll put that on the link for people.
We're always looking for people, but it has to make sense.
Yeah.
It has to make sense, and they have to fit our culture, and they need to understand what we're doing, which we're still shaping as we go along.
I think you and Charlie posted about some fitness app.
Yeah.
When are we seeing that?
So we partnered, and this is probably back to the question you had before. We partnered with an influencer in the UK called Just Jean. She's a fitness influencer, one of the biggest in the UK. We partnered with her to build her business. And her app launches this month, next week.
So that's the fitness app.
That's the fitness app we've been testing. So we've been showing behind the scenes of us building that platform. Yeah. But it goes live around the world next week. She's doing a challenge, a walking challenge. She did it last year. She had 5,000 women walking every day. So this year we decided, okay, cool. She's going to launch her business. Build will be her partner in terms of building the product, in terms of the strategy, the design, everything else. And she just does what she does best, which is be the fitness influencer, control her community, and we work together.
One more question about marketing, because I mean, we touched on it, but I just want you to maybe go a little bit deeper about the content debate and all that. Aside that, are there any other marketing strategies you guys have in place to kind of like help push Build and the services you provide and all that?
I think we're going to be looking more at like user-generated content. So like, I think UGC stuff is like key to what's going on online right now. I think once we get our products, the products that we build for ourselves, once we get a nice suite together, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of content online from the different products. You know, that's where we want to get it to. So we're going to be putting a lot of work into that type of strategy and creating some sort of distribution engine to get it to that point. Yeah.
All right. For the people watching, is there anything you want to say about Build? Maybe something you want to tell them about Build that they've not heard before?
Send us messages, ask us what we do, come and work with us. If you are a traditional company, let's work. You know, let's work. Gone are the days when you don't have a website, you don't have a brand, you don't have any technology. I think we need to work with you. I think it's very important for the ecosystem, for every company to be digital, every company to have a good brand, a good website. I think it's needed because you don't want to, you need to bulletproof yourself, right? We don't want another COVID to come and you can't make money during COVID because you don't have a website, nobody knows who you are. Internally, you were doing things with Excel sheets and stuff like, you know, even paper. You know, we need to get past that. So I think it's good for us as a country to be digital and also for companies around the world to partner with us to do what we do best.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Julian Owusu, second time coming on our show.
Cool. Done.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Finito.